Hello everyone, welcome to this special video for easy learning ways. In this video we will be learning about go-to statements, break and nested if else statements and nested for loops. So let's begin where we left off. Firstly, I'll revise a bit. You guys remember why we use if else? That is for using, like, if we have two conditions which are relevant to each other, and if the Aristotelian logic applies there, then we use just if and else. Like if one condition is true, then automatically the other is untrue, and if the first condition is untrue, then automatically the other one is true. So now if we have independent conditions, independent, which are not related to each other and that matter, then what do? We use like two if statements. For example, like this. This is the syntax. So if a is equal to 2, then tell us simply equals to 2 is equal to 2. Now if a is equal to 5, the it is not necessary that if a is not equal to 2, then a is, or it is equal, it has to be equal to, and the value, it has to be equal to the other value 5. For example, these are the two conditions: either a is equal to 2 or a is equal to 5. Enter value, whatever you want to write. See, and like first you have to take integer from the user. So if a equals 5, just display a is equal to 5, and else just display a is neither 5 nor 2. Let's see what happens. Oh, errors, definitely there are errors. Yep, mistake. For example, if I enter 5, it displays a equals to 5. This condition, first one is skipped, and the next one is, if I enter 2, it says, okay, what happened? See what happened? I entered 2, a is equal to 2, and it also displayed that a is neither 5. Okay, so we are just gonna remove this for now. Just two conditions. It's 2, no, nothing happens. If I enter 2, it says a is equal to 2. If I enter 5, it says a is equal to 5. Now moving on to nested if else. Okay, now if I have two conditions, like firstly I have to decide one condition is true, and then if the other condition is true or not, then I make a sort of a nest like this. Watch carefully. I am inside this if statement. Is it recording? Yep, it is. If I'm already inside this if statement, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put another if for example my condition is, firstly my condition is, for example, a is positive. For example, if a is positive, then check, like, if a is an even number on an odd number. See, it's going to check if a is an even number. You remember we did that earlier? A is even, else A is odd. Okay, now what is it gonna do? It's going to do like yeah, firstly it will check if A is positive. If A is not positive, it will say A is negative. Let's A is positive. Okay, now firstly it is going to check if A is positive or not. For example, errors, what kind of, yeah, I am making this mistake too often. Firstly, if I enter a negative number like -4, it's going to skip all of this from here to here. It is not going to read this. The compiler isn't going to read this. He's just gonna ignore it. The compiler is gonna just ignore it and jump to this else. See, if this condition is not true, definitely the else condition is true. Like A is not positive, A is negative. But for example, if I enter a positive number, then it is going to read this, and then it is after this cout is, if displaying the cout as well, it is going to check again if A is an even number or an odd number. Then this, you see, this is sort of a nest. Inside this if statement there is another if else statement. See, and we can do the same thing here in the else statement. What do we have to do? Like make another if else statement. See, for example, I want to check if the negative number is an even number or not. See, I will write like cout A as even, else just display A as odd. Now what happens if I enter a negative value? It's going to display that as well as even. If I enter a negative odd number, odd number, it's going to say it is odd. If I enter a positive number, positive odd, it's going to say positive odd. For example, if I want to add another, see, if I want to go for 0, I will just like add if here. If A is less than 0, do this, else cout A is 0. See, these three conditions are related to each other. Like how? If A is positive, then A is positive. Then it is neither negative nor 0. If A is negative, it is negative, neither positive nor 0. And if A is, for example, 0, it is 0. It is neither positive nor negative. See, now moving on to the nested for loop. For example, what did we use the for loop for? We used the for loop for example, yeah, we used it for inputting the values of an array. See, an array. Let's revise it first. For enter the value of a I, it is going to change the value of I and C and AI. Remember, initialize an integer int I equals, give it a value, for example 0, then a condition like 10, we want to enter 10 values from 0 to 9, so I'm putting less than 10, not less than equal to, I'm just putting less than 10, and then semicolon again, and the iteration, what do we want to do, you want to increment or decrement the value. Let's see what happens. It's going to just give me 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 and 34. See, now if I want to use another for loop inside of this, for example for, you see, this is making a nest. Int j equals 0, another variable I want to use, j is less than 5 for example, and j plus plus. See what is going to happen. Firstly, this loop will run, this the outer loop and the inner loop. You see the nest, this is a nest, this whole thing, this is a nest from here to here. Firstly, the outer loop is going to run, and while the first loop, while it is in its first loop, this inner loop will run 5 times. Like it will do this, it will go see out the value, and then it will go up, increment and j equals 1, it will go up again 5 times, then it will come down, come here, and repeat this loop, increment the value of I and go for it again, then 5 times again. So for example, like 5 into 10, like this is going to be repeated 50 times. Every time for these 10 times, this inner loop will repeat for 5 times. Let's see what happens. Control F9. See, it's probably displayed this 50 times, exactly 50 times. See, 0 0 0 0 1 1 1 1 1 2 2 2 2 2 2 5 5 times 0, 5 times 1, 5 times 2, 5 times 3, 5 times 4, 5 times 5, 5 times 6, 5 times 7, 5 times 8, 5 times 9. See what happened? And you could display other things as well. For example, you want to just display the static for like 50 times. See, 50 times it's displaying. For example, you want to make a sort of gap between space, and once again write a static, and you want to go to the next line after that. Let's see what happens. Static space static, what's it saying? Ambiguous operator need parenthesis. C out star. Yeah, I missed this. See what is happening? It's going to make a line like this. You can print different patterns with the nested for loop, and you can add an even another for loop in this, like for, this is another for loop, and L, and k equals 0. It's like k is less than 5 and k plus plus. See what has happened? this is making some sort of pattern. You want to make better patterns. For example, minus minus started from 5 and greater than 0. Let's see what happens. See, same pattern. But if I change it back to plus plus 5, see, you're changing the conditions. Less than 5 starting from 0, but this j, it's starting from 5 and it's going till 0, greater than 0, and minus minus. See, same pattern. But what if I started from I,